I do love you, Catherine.
No, you don't. You're gonna marry Rosalie.
Joseph Svendin, a middle-aged schoolteacher, lives with his ailing mother on their farm. As a teenager, he suffered an accident that left his leg permanently lame. Every morning, he helps his mother with household chores. Joseph is in a relationship with Rosalie, a widowed schoolteacher who has a son named Robert. While in class, Joseph informs his students that the school will close at the end of the semester. Suddenly, a new student named Catherine Wheeler arrives, joining the senior grade. After school, Joseph discusses the upcoming closure with Rosalie. She expresses her frustration that, despite dating him for 6 years and sacrificing much of her time for the relationship, he is yet to propose marriage. The following day at school, Robert tells Catherine that his real father died in the Korean War and that he is tired of Joseph's romance with his mother. The next morning, Catherine's father, retired Major Nathan Wheeler, visits Joseph at his farm and rents his barn to keep Catherine's horse for $175 a month. Joseph promises to drive Catherine home after each horse riding lesson and gives her full access to the barn, allowing her to come whenever she wishes. Catherine tells him that she enjoys the love poems he writes every day. Joseph confides that this will be his last year of teaching, and she asks about his plans after school. He replies that he is just a mediocre teacher with nothing else he is particularly good at. Back at home, Dr. Evans tells Joseph that his mother's cancer is worsening and that she has little time left to live. The next day, Joseph finds the barn door open and goes upstairs in search of Catherine, only to find her asleep in the hay. After a moment of silence, she looks at him with seductive eyes and asks how often other people go up there. Joseph replies that they certainly don't. Gazing at him romantically, Catherine begins to undress as waves of desire run through her mind. Shocked and in disbelief, Joseph walks out hysterically. Once outside, he reflects on what he has just witnessed, then reconsiders and makes his way back to the barn. In that moment, the two become intimate. The following day at the bar, Joseph is consumed with deep, troubling thoughts about what happened in the barn. During the education board meeting, it is revealed that Joseph was never a professional teacher and never attended college, despite having 20 years of experience. Still longing for more, Catherine begins visiting Joseph at the barn regularly. While talking one day, Joseph's mother advises him to marry Rosalie before she dies. Joseph replies that he cannot marry without a proper job. She encourages him to cash in his coin collection and take Rosalie on a honeymoon. The next day at school, Rosalie grows suspicious of Catherine Wheeler's developing relationship with Joseph. Catherine writes Joseph a note asking to meet him. On the way back home, Joseph warns Catherine not to flirt with him in class and to focus only on her horse riding lessons. Instead, Catherine seduces him, revealing that she had a premonition they would make love for the first time. Later, after telling him she is pregnant, Joseph becomes worried and anxious, especially since her father is a retired major. Despite his concern, Catherine seduces him again, and they become intimate once more. The scene shifts to Catherine visiting Joseph and giving him a gift. When he asks about her mother, Catherine reveals that her mother is an alcoholic. After a brief moment of seduction, Catherine begs to go into the main house, but still this time Joseph refuses, causing her to become emotional. She then tells him that Robert confided in her, saying Joseph plans to marry Rosalie, and that Robert is not happy about it. In that moment, they become intimate once again. While they are napping, Dr. Evans unexpectedly walks in and leaves in shock. Later, Joseph meets with Dr. Evans, who tells him that Catherine is far too young for an old fox like him, and that he is also treating Catherine's mother, who would not take such news lightly. While Joseph is at a cafe with Rosalie, Catherine approaches and asks to sit with them. Catherine flatters Rosalie, calling her a sweet mother to Robert, and then tells her that Robert is unhappy about her relationship with Joseph. Joseph firmly tells Catherine to back off, saying it is none of her business. Back home, his mother warns him about falling in love with a young girl like Catherine. Joseph is shocked to discover that she already knows about the affair. As her coughing worsens and she grows weaker, Joseph lifts her into bed. Joseph decides to drive to Rosalie's home. She tells him that he has been acting strangely lately and suspects it is not just because of his mother's health situation. He opens up, saying he wants to spend the rest of his life with her, but he is tired of her predictable, old-fashioned romantic ways that make him feel stuck in the dark. He admits he wants to feel young again. In that moment, they become intimate. Soon after, Joseph's mother passes away. At the funeral, while reading condolence letters, Rosalie comes across a love letter from Catherine, saying she can make Joseph happy and begging to be intimate with him in the house. Overcome with grief and anger, Rosalie confronts Joseph, sobbing as she asks how he could do such a thing to her. She shoves him to the ground and drives away. The next day, Catherine meets Joseph and tells him she intends to marry him. He replies that he cannot marry her because he loves Rosalie, a woman closer to his own age. He then goes to plead with Rosalie for forgiveness. While at home, Robert remarks that Catherine is a good person and suggests that Joseph must have seduced her into falling in love with him. The following day at school, Robert meets Joseph and tells him that Catherine's father already knows about the affair and is coming to visit him that night. Joseph readies his gun for self-defense. That night, while hiding and keeping watch in the barn, Major Wheeler arrives and assures him that he does not intend to harm him. He asks Joseph to meet him inside with his wife present. Wheeler asks if it is true that Joseph planned to marry his daughter. Joseph replies that it is not true, explaining that she is not his type and that she needs a wealthy, educated man living in the city, someone closer to her age who can offer her a good life. Wheeler responds that he moved Catherine from the city to give her a different experience in life, and that she has had a good semester so far. Joseph apologizes, admitting that this is the first time he has ever done something like this. After her parents leave, Catherine arrives unexpectedly and tells Joseph that Robert brought her and then left. She dismisses her father's words, insisting that she is ready to marry him. Joseph tells her that he loves her, but is an old man with little future ahead of him, and he advises her to move on with her young life. Furious, Catherine sets the barn on fire. Joseph rushes inside, struggling to save the horse as the entire place burns down. The horse dies, and Catherine sits sadly beside it. Joseph slowly comforts her. The next morning, Joseph gathers all his coins, sells them, and goes to meet Rosalie. He apologizes to her, and she accepts his proposal to marry him. Thanks for watching.